Hey everyone, welcome to this beautiful video on how we can ask our speaker to repeat what they are saying. There are several times when someone says something but we are not able to understand what they are saying. And there are several reasons behind this. It could be their tone, or it could be the way they are speaking it, the influence of their first language in their speech. For example, if someone is a Maharashtrian, there would be the influence of Marathi tone and Marathi accent in their English speech. Sometimes it's possible that there's a lot of background noise because of which you couldn't catch what they're saying. So it could be over a video call these days or over a phone when you're not able to understand what they're saying, and hence it's important to use good phrases to ask them to repeat what they've said. I'm sure you must have come across this real life situation a lot of times till date. But if every single time you're saying the same thing again and again, for example, can you please repeat? This is a very simple statement that we use too often. And hence I've made this video for you to learn some new phrases and some new expressions using which you can politely ask someone to repeat themselves. I'm Amrita and you're watching English with Amrita, a channel that helps you to improve your communication skills. If you haven't checked out my previous videos till now, then I would recommend you to do it after watching this complete video, because there's always something that I have in store for you in each of my videos. There's always some takeaway that you can learn from my videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please click that small subscribe button and hit the small thumbs up if you like this video, because this really motivates me and tells me that yes, I need to keep making such kind of content because you are liking it. Let's get going with the video now. It is always better to ask someone to repeat themselves rather than simply nodding your head and saying, yeah, I understand everything that you're saying. It could be an online class that you're attending and you're not able to understand what your teacher is teaching you. It's important for you to stop the teacher then and there and ask them politely to please repeat. Now let's look at a situation where you're not able to understand or follow the pronunciation or the accent of the person who is talking to you. You can say something like, could you please repeat that? I didn't understand. That means I could hear what you're saying, but I couldn't understand it because I didn't understand the pronunciation of your words. So could you please repeat? Another way in which you can ask the person to repeat is, can you say that again? I didn't get all of what you were saying. That means I got some part of what you were saying, but I couldn't understand all of it. And hence, could you please repeat? Or can you say that again? Third way in which you can ask them to repeat is, could you please repeat what you've just said for me? That means there's a possibility that there are more number of people listening to the speaker, but you couldn't understand what he is saying. So this is especially for you. And hence you have to politely request him or her by saying, could you repeat it for me? So that's how you can interrupt someone when you're not able to understand what he or she is saying. The last way in which you can politely ask someone to repeat themselves is by first apologizing for not being able to understand them and then asking them to repeat. You could say, I'm sorry, but I didn't understand you. Could you please repeat that for me? Or could you please say that again for me? So first we started politely by saying, I'm sorry. And then I couldn't understand you and hence I'm sorry. So please repeat it for me. Another situation is when you do not understand some words that the speaker is using. And it's important for you to understand that word because you realize that you're not able to understand the meaning of his sentence because you're stuck at this one word. At such times, you will have to specifically ask what this word means. So you can use something like, could you repeat that word please? I don't know what it means. So this is when the speaker will repeat the word for you. On the other hand, when you're not understanding the meaning of the word, you can say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I did not understand what this word means. Another way to politely interrupt someone when you couldn't understand the meaning of a word is again by apologizing and by saying, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I didn't understand the meaning of this word. So here is when the speaker or the person you're talking to will take some efforts to make you understand the meaning of that word. And sometimes you have to be shameless in asking the meaning of a word directly to your speaker. You could say something like, "Could you please tell me what XYZ means? I don't know it." So you simply repeated the word that they've said, but you do not know the meaning of it, and hence you are directly asking them the meaning of this word by saying, "I don't understand this word." Have you come across people who speak too fast in general, and hence it becomes difficult to understand such people because they are so fast and fluent with their words that you cannot understand them, and you have to ask them to slow down a little bit. In such cases, you can politely ask, "Could you speak more slowly, please?" Now, do not be worried to tell them to speak slow, because generally the people who speak fast are aware of the fact that they are fast speakers. And I'm sure before you tell them to stop or slow down, somebody else in their lives must have also asked them at one point in time to slow down or to speak slowly. So don't feel that he or she will be offended, because it's important for you to understand what they are saying, and hence it's important for you to communicate to them to slow down. Another way in which you can do that is by saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand what you're saying. It would be better if you could speak a little more slowly." So here the person won't be offended because you're apologizing for not understanding him or her, and then you're requesting them to speak slowly. So I'm sure he or she will speak slowly for you. The next situation is quite common on video calls these days. When people are not sitting in the right environment or in an enclosed area or in a closed room, there's a lot of background noise that gets added in those video or audio calls, and it becomes difficult for you to understand the person. At such times, you have to ask them to speak loudly. So you can say something like, "Can you speak up? I'm not able to understand you." Or, "Could you speak up? I cannot hear you well." So you're requesting them to increase their volume because there's a lot of background noise, and that noise is mixing with his or her voice, because of which it's becoming difficult for you to comprehend. Another way is, "I'm sorry, it is too noisy here. Could you say that again?" That means there's noise at your end. Imagine you are in a family function, but you have to attend this important meeting at an odd time of the day, and you're not able to catch what the speaker is saying. So you have to first apologize because you are not in the right environment, and hence this is the right sentence for you to use then. The third way is to simply ask them to speak loudly. So, "Could you speak louder, please? I cannot understand what you're saying, or I'm not able to hear you. So could you please speak loudly?" There's a possibility people may not understand the meaning of speak up, and hence in simpler terms, you can ask them to speak loudly. See, your speaker will always want that you understand what he or she is telling you, and hence it is absolutely okay to interrupt them at times when you're not able to understand what they're saying. Now, imagine another situation where you are occupied with something and hence you couldn't understand what they said because the words didn't fall on your ears, and even if they did fall on your ears, they didn't go to your brain, so you didn't actively listen to what they said. In such cases, you can say something like, "Would you mind repeating, please? I didn't quite catch that." That means I didn't catch your words very well, and hence could you please repeat it for me? The last situation is when you do all of the above and the speaker repeats his or her words or sentences for you, but you're still not able to understand it the second time. And this is when you feel like, it's okay, let me not ask him or her again. But I would suggest you not to do it. It's important for you to understand what he or she is saying, and hence it is all right to again tell them to repeat. In such cases, you can say, "I'm sorry, I still didn't get that. Could you please explain in some other way?" So don't feel hesitated to ask someone to repeat what they're saying, because I'm sure they would love to repeat it for you, rather than knowing at the end of the conversation that you only understood half of what they've said. If you've liked this video, don't forget to give me a small thumbs up and also subscribe and hit the small bell icon to get notifications every week. I'm working really hard to create content for you guys for free, and the only thing that I expect from you is to motivate me to make more and more content for you. So your subscriptions, your likes, your comments really matter a lot to me. Until I see you next. Bye.